You know, I became aware of Jeff Crosby from my trips up to Idaho to play the Braun Brothers reunion. This TV series has kept up with his creative output ever since. During the lockdown state of affairs in 2020, he released a full-length album called Northstar. Here's a story from the man himself.
I haven't been to church in years. This morning I think I might, to clear my guilty conscience from what happened here last night. Every time I'm back in this town, drinking with old friends, we end up running stop signs, chasing white lines and talking to strange women. Yeah, it's one more round for Randy, for Lois and for Vern, past the one-hitter, Salmon River Quiver, past the flask of Jamie's bourbon. I know everything is changing, I know nothing lasts forever. God bless the folks that try so hard to hold this town together.
Hold This Town Together was a chorus that I had been hanging on to for probably 3 years. You know, just about these characters in my hometown. So I flew out to Boston to do some writing with Mickey. I just brought my notepad of all these, you know, basically chorus ideas that I knew were at least not worth throwing away, you know. And I said, I got this chorus, but it hasn't really, I don't have any verses for it or anything. And he immediately, you know, grabbed onto it and was like, oh, I love that one. He's like, why don't we run with that? It was a little funny, you know, collaborating on that because it's a ultra personal song, you know. It's like specific characters, and it allowed me to finish writing it though, because Mickey opening it up and him kind of coming from the perspective of his hometown and me coming from the perspective of my hometown, but both being from Idaho, you know, we ended up just being able to write it pretty quick because as you would imagine, growing up in Idaho, there's pretty similar scenarios playing out in both our upbringing. So he was like, man, I think I'm gonna put it on our record. And I was like, well, I'm putting it on my record too. Northstar, I was chipping away at it between Portland, Oregon, and my friend Greg Williams over there. Usually my idea is to go into one studio and try to make it as cohesive as possible, but I was traveling around so much and it was just really busy. So I ended up doing, you know, 3-4 songs in Portland, another 4 songs in Nashville with my friend Jeff Pillar, and then I did one song, Born to Be Lonely, with Jonathan Tyler. We were touring through Austin actually, and I said, hey, we got a day off, and I heard I see you're recording quite a bit, and what are the chances we could sneak in there and record a song? And he said, yeah, that'd be awesome, totally. So we ended up popping in there, and we called Cody, had him come play fiddle on it. And
I was born to be lonely.
kind of created that, you know, the vibe. I started listening to the collection of songs, and it was a little all over the place, but I was like, you know what, I really like, the theme was all there, you know, and the vibe was there. So we just, I don't know, I just went for it. I just kind of made compiled them the best I could, you know, as far as making it feel cohesive, you know, and not sound like we were jumping around the studios.
We could make the ocean in 3 days or so. I got the money to get there. I'll be your home away from home. I'll be your home away from home.
Northstar, being back here in Idaho, especially in the last few months, and being just kind of grounded here and not being able to be on the road, it was that concept that, you know, no matter what city I was living in or wherever I was going, you know, I always have this home base to come back to and kind of ground myself. Well, that was the funniest thing. Willie, he started, I don't know what, it was something on Instagram or something. He started posting these really cool shots he was getting out of his place in Idaho. And a few of them he posted. I said, man, dude, those night sky pics you're getting are pretty killer. Like, what's the deal with that, you know? How long have you been working on that for a while? He's like, actually, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like screwing around, and I just got this camera and figuring it out. I said, man, I am obsessed with those like nighttime photos you have. And I was like, would you mind if I snag one of those for the cover? And he's like, oh my God, I'd be honored. He's like, free of charge. You know, it's like, even better.
Oh, and I should thank my mother's God for giving her
Brian Thomas had sent me that line. One morning, he's always sending me random texts of song ideas he has, and he says, I should thank my mother's God for giving her some faith in me. I thought that was such a great line. I was like, oh, I'm stealing that from you for sure. The end of the chorus is, throw your heart in the river and hope it sees the ocean someday. There's just a couple really strong lines in it that ended up making it a standout track for me, at least when we were recording it. My friend Lauren Farrah, she is a Nashville songwriter. I had that line, see the blood on my hands from my heart on my sleeve. And I wanted to use that line on something. And I was determined to do a co-write with her, but I was just like, we gotta at least co-write one tune together. You're such a great songwriter. And it's one of my favorite tracks on the record. It's cool. I've never done a duet on a record, so it was cool.
I may never be ready, but I want to believe. See the blood on my hands from my heart on my sleeve.
When everything started canceling, we did have to, we kind of sat down and we're chatting as a band, and we're like, man, do we want to release this after putting all this work into it and to not be able to tour on it? Ultimately, I'm happy we just put it out, and I'm really proud of it, and I hope, look forward to actually going out and playing the songs.